Revelio.
I hate to see a creature get put down like that.
So knowledgeable. I hope those assignments...
I've completed all of my tasks, Professor Onai.
Very well done. Although I must admit, I did have something of a premonition that you would follow through. Now, as you have no doubt sharpened your perception by completing my assignment, I am curious, based upon the knowledge that one's present and even one's past may reveal traces of what is to come. What do you see in your own future?
I honestly don't know, Professor.
At times, the future is murky to us all. As with rippling water, one must wait for things to settle before the reflection becomes clear. But this talk of tomorrow should not divert us from your present success. I shall inform our good deputy headmistress of your exemplary performance. And if that performance is any omen of what your future may hold, then I, for one, see great things. Channel your magic towards your targets. You have it! Now, why not practice the new spell on the training dummy?
Levioso! Capulso! Descendo!
I think you have it.
Levioso! Descendo!
At some point, you must stop preparing and put your newly honed skills to the test outside of the classroom.
Levioso! Descendo! Accio. Descendo. Accio. Descendo. Descendo. Lumos.
I've always said that travel broadens the...
Welcome back. Have you finished your...
Reporting back, Professor. Assignment's all finished.
Well done. Shows good discipline. Wisdom is a golden snitch, as they say, and you're proving a skilled seeker in that regard. Let us practice our restore momentum. A charm, incidentally, created to stop quaffles from plummeting straight to the ground during a Quidditch match. Precise, deliberate movements. Very good.
Accio.
Practicing your new spell as much as possible. Perhaps before you leave here.
Depulso. Descendo. Accio. Descendo. Leviosa. Incendio. Glacius. Defendo. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Depulso. Descendo. Arresto momentum.
That's it. Keep it up.
Accio. Descendo. Incendio. Leviosa. Confringo. Glacius. Defendo. Glacius. Expelliarmus. Depulso. Arresto momentum.
Welcome, everyone. I see you've already met some of the many beasts we study in this class. Though be advised, none of these creatures should be taken lightly. They are all in their own way dangerous, especially if one does not know how to handle them properly. Now, it seems many of you are out of practice. Let's take some time to review the basics of how to care for a beast, shall we? Miss Sweeting, would you please assist our new student with the lesson today?
Yes, Professor Howen. Hello, I'm Poppy Sweeting. Don't worry about Professor Howen's speech. She over-exaggerates sometimes. All the beasts in class are perfectly safe. Oh!
Miss Sweeting, pay attention, please. The tongue of a puffskein can be a slippery devil.
Yes, Professor. Here, you can practice on Gerald. Just keep an eye out for his tongue. You can use my brush. Just be gentle. Oh, and think pleasant thoughts. I like to think it enriches his experience. That's lovely. I'm sure he feels much better. I think he might be hungry. Would you mind giving him some beast feed? What do you suppose the pellets taste like to Gerald? Pudding, I like to think. I think we can safely say that Gerald likes you.
That's good news. He seems very nice.
He is. Kindness is one of his best qualities, right after ambition. And cleanliness.
Good work, everyone. Now, let's make our way to the pens and select another beast. And please, do be careful as you feed and groom them. Miss Sweeting, why don't you show our new student to the Kneazles in the farthest pen?
This way. The Kneazles are over here.
Oh, couple of Kneazle whiskers ought to get me a few canuts at least. Enough to buy something from Honeydukes. Stupid thing.
What in Merlin's name are you doing?
Tuss, peculiar Poppy. Worried about a worthless little rodent?
Her name is Persephone!
Her name is Persephone!
That's really not funny.
Let's go.
Those two don't belong anywhere near this class. Poachers in training. Persephone was onto them instantly. Thank you for your help. Let's carry on. Feed and brush the Kneazles just as you did with Gerald. The Kneazles really took to you. They know a good egg when they see one. As do.
Now, where is our new student? Ah, there you are. I would like a moment, please.
Hello, Professor. You wanted to speak with me?
I did. How did you find your first beasts lesson?
It was wonderful. I believe I'm really going to enjoy this class.
Good. You seem to understand that when beasts are properly controlled, they can play a vital role in our lives. Some provide us with magically imbued materials, if cared for correctly, which does not include torturing them for whiskers. Well done, by the way. Probably best to let me handle it next time.
Yes, Professor.
They're nearly as bad as the Savagers in Rookwood's poacher pack. Sadly, we're the ones who suffer, stumbling over dead beasts. Terrible waste of resources.
Surely the poachers can be brought to justice by someone. The Ministry, perhaps?
An optimistic idea. Now, why don't we focus on more immediate matters that we can control? Professor Weasley has asked that I prepare some assignments designed to help you catch up to the other fifth years. Be on the lookout for my owl. Meanwhile, I also encourage you to study as many beasts as you can on your own time.
I need to talk to you. Come here.
Do you need something, Poppy?
Thank you again for saying something to those brutes so that I didn't have to. You were an augury at noon in the desert.
I certainly hope that's a good thing.
It's something my gran and I say. It means that something or someone is a welcome surprise. At least, that's what we decided it meant.
I couldn't stand there and watch them harm the poor thing.
We're of a similar mind. Actually, in light of that, there's someone I'd like you to meet. In the forest.
You've intrigued me. Very well. Lead the way.
I'd hoped I would. I wouldn't take just anyone there. In fact, you're the first.
Really? Well, thank you, I think.
As I said, we think alike. Pleasant surprise. Quite the weather we're having, don't you think?
Poppy, where are you taking me?
It really is much better if I just show you. Don't worry, we're nearly there. It's just ahead. Stand back. Please meet Highwing. Isn't she just magnificent? Go. You must always show hippogriffs the proper courtesy before you approach them. I knew it. I don't think I've ever seen a hippogriff take to someone this quickly. You can feed and brush her if you'd like. I come and check on her every once in a while. Bring her pasties, tell her what's going on in the castle. You wouldn't know from looking at her, but she's a dreadful busybody. So, what did you think of Highwing?
I thought she was brilliant. Can't believe you introduced me to her.
I suspected you two might get along.
Are you the reason students have been seeing hippogriffs flying above the Forbidden Forest?
Perhaps. Did you know that once you earn a hippogriff's trust, they'll always be there for you? I've seen it firsthand with her.
How exactly did you and Highwing cross paths?
It's a longer story, but I rescued her from poachers a few years back. Got her to safety and, well, she was fine until recently. You may have noticed that poachers are something of a problem in the area, so I worry they could get her again. And I might not be there next time.
Professor Howin mentioned the poachers as well. She seemed to imply that we couldn't rely on the Ministry to help.
I don't often agree with Professor Howin, but on that, I fear she's right. The poachers' influence is growing. I see them every day in the village, lingering, talking to people. They're up to something. I'm just not sure what.
That does seem strange. Sounds as if they're planning something.
Exactly. I think I'm going to look into it. Find out what's going on, what they're doing.
I think that's a fine idea. Information is power.
And the more I know, the better I can keep Highwing safe.
You seem undeterred. Will you let me know what you find out?
Oh, very well. I will. I should be going, but we'll speak again soon, I hope.
Those Ashminders are running scared now.
Depulso!
I told my mother once. I did. Don't give me that look. You weren't there.
My family has a lineage of exemplary flyers. It's no wonder it isn't for me to buy a brew.
Depulso! Arresto momentum.
Hello again, Mr. Moon.
Oh, I was hoping to see you again, my young friend. Gladwin Moon, Hogwarts caretaker, at your service. First, please allow me to apologise if I seemed a bit, unsteady when we last met. I'm afraid I had a rather disconcerting encounter. Although I hear your visit to Hogsmeade was even more eventful than mine.
I suppose you could call it eventful. I certainly wasn't expecting a troll attack.
Oh, of course not. And from what I understand, the village was lucky you were there. In fact, my recent visit to Hogsmeade is the reason I was hoping to bump into you. I could use your help with something. Do you see that curious statue over there? Watch what happens when that light changes from day to night. Now, if you wouldn't mind humouring me for a moment, see if you can remove the moon from the statue. Oh, odd little contraptions, aren't they? It seems the statue vanishes once the moon is removed. Which, incidentally, can only be done at night. Why don't you hold on to that one for now, and I'll explain more as we walk. Ever since that fateful day in the village, those curious statues have begun appearing about the castle. A fair number have been strewn around Hogsmeade. Someone, it seems, is trying to torment me.
Accio.
You see, that day in Hogsmeade, I turned a corner and came face to face with a boggart, or shapeshifter, if you will, which takes the form of whatever scares you most. This one took the form of a demiguise.
A demiguise?
Yes! Terrifying creature that can see the future. Wholly unnerving. I encountered one when I was a lad in Korea. Terrible experience. Those statues are demiguises. The moons, I assume, are an uninspired play on my name. Some jackanapes used a boggart to learn my greatest fear and use it against me. I have my suspicion as to the scoundrel or scoundrels responsible. It is my hope that they will slip up and reveal themselves as the statues disappear. That is why I need your help in removing the statues.
Why me?
A couple of reasons, frankly. First, your daring do against those trolls in Hogsmeade has gained you a reputation for fearlessness. Second, as macabre and hideous as a demiguise is, most would find my fear of them unwarranted. You, however, have seen how they affect me. I'm at my wit's end, young friend. I simply can't bring myself to go near them. In fact, I know of 2 statues right here in the faculty tower. Perhaps you could start simply by removing them, so I can go about my evening duties.
I'd be glad to help you, Mr. Moon.
Oh, I knew I could count on you. First, you know how to cast a disillusionment charm, correct? You'll want to do that before wandering the tower at night. Next, you'll notice that the door is locked. However will you get in? Alahomora, that's how.
But what about curfew?
Curfew? Oh, tosh. I sense you're a bit like me when I was your age. Oh, the school was my oyster. And I took advantage of it. Oh, everyone loved me for it. Oh, those were the days. Now, you'll find one statue in the prefect's bathroom and the other in the hospital wing. Good luck. Oh, and thank you.
Alohomora.
Well done! You're in. Remember, use a disillusionment charm so no one claps eyes on you. This is a restricted area of the castle, after all.
Revelio.
How are your students getting along this year?
Started rather poorly, I'd say.
Is that so?
We're raising it. You say that every year, Matilda.
What trickery are you up to?
This must be the prefect's bathroom.
Wouldn't be so combative if the Ministry would allow them to have wands. One of those goblins can't or helm, I suppose. Anyway, I'm not afraid of a goblin rebellion. I'm up to Professor Hector's party.
Hello, Hamora.
I don't think...
In the hospital wing on account of my venomous tentacula.
Not at the moment, no. Plenty of other perils and pitfalls to send them my way, though. Well.
Black knows best, but the students are terribly disappointed about Quidditch being cancelled.
Huh. I had planned to bet a few galleons on Hufflepuff this season.
Hufflepuff? Ravenclaw?
I know when I see a winning bet, and Ravenclaw would not have been that. Not this year, anyway.
I'm partial to Hufflepuff myself. What was that?
What was what?
I thought I heard something. Perhaps not. Anyway, I had high hopes for Hufflepuff. Simon's going to learn the...
Well, all of the teamwork and flying about and the golden snitch. Rather a lot like life, isn't it?
Oh, I suppose I should pay closer attention in the next match, if there ever is one.
I suppose you should.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
Aloha Mora. Hello, Mr. Moon. I have the moons you asked me to collect.
Oh, goodness! You're as fearless as I'd hoped. An excellent start. If we can collect more, it may shed some light on who's behind all this. Of course, I first suspected Peeves. He drove the previous caretaker, Rancorous Carp, to an early retirement with his intolerable buffoonery. But that does not explain the boggart in Hogsmeade, does it? No. I am determined, with your help, to discover the identity of my tormentor.
I'll see what I can do, but I'm fairly busy. I can't promise anything.
Understood, but I hope you will find the time. In case it matters, I do have something to offer in exchange for your assistance. Now, remember, the moons are only retrievable at night. Thus, I encourage you to use a disillusionment when necessary.
How many statues are there to find?
I don't know precisely, but I've spotted dozens. Seems they're everywhere I look. You have your work cut out for you, if you were to ever unravel their meaning.
You mentioned offering something in exchange for my assistance?
I did. Once you've brought me enough moons, I'll show you even more powerful forms of Alohomora. Not every lock is as easy to pick as the faculty towers.
Understood. I shall keep an eye out.
I appreciate that. Oh, and I knew you were the one to ask for help. Keep at it so we can solve this mystery.
Your spirit guides are trying to contact you. I can sense them all around.
Accio, Incendio, Levioso, Descendo, Descendo, Glacius, Defindo, Confringo, Expelliarmus, Arresto Momentum, Depulso, Expelliarm, Arresto Momentum.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
Lumos. Revelio.
Hello there. Nice to see you.
Hello, Miss Ryan. I wanted to thank you again for your help with Rookwood and Harlow the day of the troll attack.
Sirona, please. And I was happy to help. Oh, those two are nothing but trouble. Glad you and your friend were here when they found you.
I am too. You were speaking to a goblin here that day?
Yes, Lodgok. He's a friend.
It seems as though you were on good terms with him.
I've known him for years. We met when I was waiting tables here as a student, well before I bought the place. He was cordial enough, but we weren't friends then. His mistrust of wizard kind ran deep.
But you're friends now?
We are. Hadn't seen him in years when he came in a few months ago. But he recognized me instantly, which is more than I can say for some of my own classmates. Took them a second to realize I was actually a witch, not a wizard. Not all goblins are like Ranrock and his loyalists. Lodgok is as worried as the rest of us about what's been going on.
In that case, I'd like to talk with him, about Ranrock in particular. Where might I find him?
I assume your interest is to do with the rumors I've heard about Ranrock working with our friend Rookwood.
It is.
If he's not here, you might find him doing business at the Hog's Head. He's a trusted metal trader. You should mention that we spoke. He can, understandably, be wary of witches and wizards, even ones as young as you. That said, if you're looking for information on Ranrock to help rein him in, you'll find an ally in Lodgok.
You seemed unfazed by Rookwood and Harlow the other day. They don't scare you?
They're bullies. Plain and simple. Never tolerated them in my own life, and certainly won't tolerate them going after my friends. Don't misunderstand me. They're dangerous wizards and shouldn't be trifled with. They should, however, be confronted and reminded, whenever possible, that the rest of us have each other's backs.
Have you heard what Ranrock and Rookwood are working on together?
Not much more than the fact that they seem to have some sort of uneasy alliance. Friendship between wizards and goblins is rare enough. But between those two, they each want something the other has. I can guarantee it. That said, I fear they're like a two-headed serpent. Both will need to be taken down to stop whatever scheme they've been plotting.
Thank you, Sirona.
If you find Lodgok, please give him my best. I don't know what you've done to make such powerful enemies, but please, watch your back.
Confringo! Lumos, Arresto Momentum.
Hello, good to see you. Remember you.
You too, Amit.
This rather exotic snake contraption. Very Salazar, isn't it?
Welcome to the Hog's Head. Any empty seat is yours.
You look familiar.
Hello, Lodgok. Sirona said I might find you here.
She did she? Did she send you with news?
No, actually, I wanted to speak with you. It's about Ranrock.
Now I remember. The 3 broomsticks. Day of the troll attack. You're the student he's after.
I am, and I need to know what he and his loyalists are up to so I can stay a step ahead.
Let's say I did know. Why should I trust you?
Sirona trusts me, and she thought our interests may be aligned.
Well, if Sirona trusts you, Very well. I may know of something that could help us both. A way to get Ranrock to confide his plans to me.
I'm listening.
Years ago, a heinous witch stole a sacred goblin relic. Rumor has it that it now rests in her sarcophagus, in a tomb accessible only by wizard kind. Ranrock and I had a falling out a while back. The relic could well repair the chasm between us.
Very well. I'll retrieve the relic if you promise to share Ranrock's plans with me.
We will have to trust each other. I, that you will not abscond with the relic, and you, that I'll share what I learn. Gather whatever supplies you may need, and meet me near the witch's tomb.
I'm ready.
Good. There's no time to lose.
Arresto momentum.
What precisely is the relic I'm to retrieve?
A valuable heirloom known as the Helmet of Urtgott. The witch considered herself a collector and purchased the helmet as a trinket.
Lumos.
She cared not what pain she caused the goblins. Goblins believe that the rightful owner of any object is its maker, not its purchaser.
Wizard kind see things differently. It's a wonder goblins and wizards have ever been able to work together.
The differences between our kinds are myriad.
They seem to be.
It may surprise you to know that I do not believe those differences always to be insurmountable. It is the reason I find myself traveling with you to this tomb today. Ah, and there it is. The witch's tomb.
Dreadful looking place, isn't it?
Off on another adventure, are we?
I wish you luck retrieving the helmet. As a wand carrier, you should have an advantage. Now, before you set off, do you have any questions?
What about this helmet makes it so special?
The helmet of Urtkot is an ancient and storied relic, forged during a time of unity among the goblin clans. It inspired greatness, that is, until it was no longer ours. Then it became something else. A symbol of what has been lost, of all that wizard kind has taken from us. Reclaiming it would mean a great deal to goblin kind, and to Ranrock. He would be grateful to me should I return it.
It seems Ranrock and Rookwood are conspiring. Why would that be?
I had heard this. When the dark-hearted conspire, they seldom make their full intentions clear to one another. I can only speculate, but I imagine their alliance is uneasy and quite fragile. Let us hope that ours is less so.
Don't suppose you have any idea what could be waiting for me inside the tomb?
Considering a Dark Witch was involved, I suppose there's a chance you may encounter the Dark Protectors, known as Inferi. The foul creatures thrive on darkness and the cold. Vanquish them with light, force, and, most effectively, fire.
It all seems clear to me now that we're here.
I do hope our alliance proves fruitful. Again, I wish you luck. I will remain here, eagerly awaiting your return. Please, be careful.
Lumos. Protego. Lumos. It's sealed. Moths. Curious. Lumos. Merlin's beard. Depulso. Lumos. This can't be the witch's tomb. Likely I need to go further. Depulso! Lumos. Lumos. I have a feeling I'm not alone here. Arresto momentum. Incendio. Confringo. Glacius. Expelliarmus. Depulso. Arresto momentum. Descendo. Incendio. Confringo. Defendo. These very are horrible. Depulso. Arresto momentum. Descendo.
Incendio. Levioso. Accio. Confringo. Glacius. Expelliarmus. Defendo. Repel. Capulso. Revelio. Capulso. Revelio. Lumos. Levioso. Lumos.
If I could power it somehow, it looks like it's been rotated.
Depulso. Lumos.
What's that hanging there? Looks precarious.
Arresto momentum. Accio. Descendo. Defendo.
Down I go. No other way.
Depulso. Levioso. Revelio. Lumos. Capulso. Accio. Levioso.
Revelio. Lumos. Oh. Oh! Depulso. Accio. Incendio. Accio. Arrested. Descendo. Accio. Incendio. Confringo. Defendo. Glacius. Expelliarmus. Leviosa, Expelliarmus, Confringo, Defender. Glacius, Confringo, Accio, Incendio. Arresto Momentum, Descendo. Accio. Incendio. Descendo. Accio. Incendio. Arresto Momentum. Defendo. Glacius. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Accio. Arresto Momentum. Accio. Descendo. Incendio. Confringo. Glacius. Defender. Leviosa. Depulso. Lumos. Depulso. Lumos. Revelio. Lumos. Depulso. This looks even more complex. Lumos. Revelio.
Lumos. Revelio. Depulso. Lumos. Depulso. Lumos. Depulso. Lumos.
Making this spin ought to raise that platform. That must be it.
Lumos. Depulso. Lumos. Depulso. Lumos. Depulso. Lumos. Depulso. Lumos. Depulso. Lumos. Depulso. Lumos. Lumos. Depulso. Lumos. Revelio. Lumos. Depulso. Lumos. Depulso. Levioso. Depulso. Arresto momentum. Lumos. Confringo. Depulso. Arresto momentum. Lumos. Levioso. Lumos. Lumos. Depulso.
I need to bring moths to the door.
Lumos. Glacius. Reparo. Arresto momentum. Accio. Incendio. Accio. Glacius. Arresto Momentum. Accio. Lumos. Arresto Momentum. Capulso. Lumos. Accio. Depulso. Arresto Momentum. Lumos. Depulso. Arresto Momentum. Lumos. Lumos. Capulso. Accio. Depulso. Arresto Momentum. Lumos. Arresto Momentum. Lumos. Arresto Momentum. Levioso. Glacius. Arresto Momentum. Lumos. Lumos. Capulso. Lumos. Arresto Momentum. Lumos.
The witch's final resting place. Lodgok said the helmet was in her sarcophagus. A dead Ashwinder. Your compatriots must have made off with the helmet. Lodgok won't like this. Better show this to Lodgok. There must be some sort of mechanism for this doorway.
What are you up to now?
Lodgok, the sarcophagus had been raided. I found no helmet, only a dead Ashwinder.
Damn! They got here first. We need to get it before Rookwood uses it to further ingratiate himself to Ranrock. I saw one of their campsites not far from here, but I fear you must go in alone. My fighting days are behind me.
I'll head there now.
Good. There's no time to lose. Get to that helmet before Rookwood does, or we will lose our chance at any leverage, no matter how small, with Ranrock. To think those wretched thieves have their hands on such a relic.
Abandoned long ago, no doubt. If only Professor Fig could have seen that.
Arresto momentum. Accio. Descendo. Levioso. Allow me to put...
Expulso!
Arresto momentum. Accio. Incendio. Descendo.
No!
Glacius. Confringo.
Incendio!
Incendio. Revelio.
There they are. The Ashwinders.
No more happy days for you.
Arresto momentum. Descendo. Accio. Incendio. Confringo. Defendo. Glacius.
You'll feel the regret that. My wand!
Levioso. Go ahead, sir. Expelliarmus.
Quite the impressive fighter, aren't you? Flash of inspiration. Expulso!
Defender. Glacius. Confringo. Expelliarmus.
Conductive arm.
Lumo. Caporzo. Levioso.
Expulso.
Lumos.
Expulso. 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 Expulso.
Repulso.
Expulso.
Levioso. Incendio. Accio. Descendio. Arresto momentum.
Expulso! You will pay for your deed. That's just the beginning.
Incendio.
I've seen you duel. Your strategies won't work on me. Mars, Beard, what was that?
Descendo. Arresto momentum. Accio.
Expulso!
Glacius. Defendo. Confringo. Expelliarmus.
Might want to look up.
Arresto momentum. Accio. Descendo. Incendio.
Expulso! Expulso!
Accio. Arresto momentum. Descendo. Incendio.
From above! Expulso!
Accio. Arresto momentum.
Expulso! Flash! Expulso! Thought you could hide from me, did you? Expulso! This is not going
Descendo.
well for you.
Accio. Arresto momentum.
Now to finish the job.
Defendo. Glacius. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Accio.
Expulso!
Incendio.
Expulso! Expulso!
Stupid.
Expulso! Quite conductive, aren't we? Expulso!
Accio.
Expulso! 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 What are your thoughts on Expulso?
Expelliarmus. Defendo. Glacius. Incendio. Accio. Arresto momentum. Descendo. Confringo.
Barely felt anything at all.
Glacius. Defendo. Expelliarmus.
That's
Incendio. Accio. Descendo. Arresto momentum. Compulso. Levioso. Expelliarmus.
Your first.
Confringo. Glacius. Defendo. Lumos.
Hey, that's mine.
Compulso.
Well, you'll have to do better than that.
Expelliarmus. Levioso. Confringo. Glacius. Incendio.
That all you got?
Accio.
Might want to look up.
Arresto momentum. Descendo.
Expulso!
Incendio.
No one to share in my victory.
Revelio. Revelio. That's it.
This is for Rookwood!
I'll make you wish you were back at school.
Descendo. Accio.
I'm just warming up.
Incendio. Glacius. Confringo. Expelliarmus.
Disarm my wand.
Incendio. Accio. Descendo.
Nobody will believe I defeated an Ashwinder by myself.
Depulso. Revelio.
Looks rather dark in there. Never stopped me before. I retrieved the helmet from the Ashwinders.
Well done. This is sure to impress Ranrock. The helmet shines even more brightly than I imagined. The etchings, the contour of the profile. Remarkable.
It looks stunning, Lodgok. I see why you wanted it back.
You did the thieves a service by recovering it. I know many a goblin who would have killed for it.
Ah, then I am glad to be rid of it myself.
Thank you. This should earn Ranrock's trust. I will take it to him immediately. It may distract him from his search.
His search?
It is merely an inkling. You have impressed me greatly, friend. I am glad that I trusted you. We shall speak soon. Best to keep our arrangement quiet for now. Many will not believe that our aims might possibly be aligned.
Hello, friend. I wonder if you might stop by the Three Broomsticks when you can. I would like your help with something.
As I mentioned, my sister Anne misses Hogwarts, and she hasn't been herself lately.
I'd like to take you up on your promise to visit her with me. I'm heading to Feldcroft soon, so I'll look forward to seeing you there. It's just south of Hogwarts. By the way, hope you're faring well with the blasting curse. It's still one of my favorites.
Now that you've attended Beasts class, I've asked Deke to assist you in using the room to further your studies in that regard. Please meet him there when you can.
I've not heard from my Uncle Roland in quite some time. I've been beside myself with worry. Could you meet me in the courtyard?
Hello, Samantha. Are you here for Summoner's Court?
I am. I'm actually rather good at it. Used to play all the time with my brother, until... Never mind. Shall we begin?
Yes, I'm ready to play.
Then let's get summoning. You'll have to do better than that. Accio! Yes! How am I to top that?
Accio.
That was sensational! How about that? I won! Good match. Care to have another go?
But of course.
Splendid! Accio! Yes!
Accio.
That was sensational! Accio! Yes!
Accio.
How am I to top that? That settles it, then. After your poor show against Natty in class, I thought I could beat you. Appears I overestimated myself.
Don't say that, Samantha. You're a fine player.
Well, that's very kind of you. Let's just say if I'm good, then you're better. I happen to know who you're up against next, and she's no shy opponent. Best of luck.
Accio. Incendio.
Oh, here's a pleasant surprise. Defender. Glacius. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Accio. Incendio. Descendo. Arresto Momentum. Incendio. This could prove dangerous if I'm not careful. Lumos. Capulso. Lumos. Levioso. Levioso. Capulso. Glacius. Confringo. Defendo. Expelling. Accio. Incendio. Arresto Momentum. Descendo. Accio. Incendio. Revelio. Capulso. Incendio.
Bring me a dozen humans to battle. I'll take them all. Run the other way when they see me, humans do. Every time.
These rocks have seen better days.
Someone
Accio. Descendo. Incendio. Arresto Momentum. Confringo. Defendo. Glacius. Confringo! Here.
Handy resource.
It's like a place right out of a storybook. Hello, nice to meet you.
Welcome. I am Bernard Indiaye, and this is my shop. Is there anything I can help you with?
I'm curious to know what's happening in Feldcroft. Might you have any insight?
An incredibly unpleasant goblin called Belgroth the Bludgeoner has been tormenting everyone he encounters. Feldcroft borders goblin country, but we've always lived in peace with their kind. Until recently, that is. Some claim that Belgroth and his associates are in league with Ranrock. I don't know if there's truth to it. Whatever the case, their constant meddling is devastating business. Everyone feels unsafe. It's quite serious.
What do you sell here?
Glad you asked. I sell the finest array of beast byproducts you'll find in the entire countryside. If you don't believe me, feel free to look about. Eventually you'll return. They always do.
What brought you to own a shop in Feldcroft?
Beautiful place, isn't it? Although I admit I didn't choose it. It chose me. I was raised here. It's always been my home. As for the shop, I suppose my line of work chose me as well. I've always loved working with beasts. And my twin girls adore them. Wouldn't be surprised if they took over from me one day.
What do you have for sale?
What are we in the market for today? Now, if you like what you bought, be sure to come in and see me again. A pleasure doing business with you. Have I mentioned you're welcome to stop by any time?
Revelio. I should dismount here.
You made it.
Enjoying the view?
Keeping an eye on things. Feldcroft isn't what it used to be. No one has felt safe here since Ranrock's loyalists took a peculiar interest in that castle over there. Rookwood Castle. My uncle Solomon is a former Auror and refuses to look into it, even after Anne was cursed by one of them. Possibly with a wand, no less.
I heard a goblin refer to wizard kind as wand carriers. Are goblins forbidden from carrying wands?
Precisely. That's why I'm on the hunt for answers. If I'm to cure her, I need to understand what happened to her. Anne was always the most mischievous of the three of us. Which is saying something, knowing me and Ominous. I'm hoping a surprise visit from me and a new friend from Hogwarts will help lift her spirits. Bring back the Anne I used to know. Come on, I'll take you to my uncle's. This way. Feldcroft used to be a lot livelier.
You can't...
With Ranrock's lot wandering about all the time, everyone stays out of sight.
Lumos.
Here we are. My sister should be just inside.
Aha! Sebastian, where did you... Is that what I think it is?
We've been over this, boy.
Hey.
Shrivelfigs cannot reverse a curse. Nothing can. The sooner you accept that reality, the better.
But we haven't tried everything.
There is no cure! When will you accept that?
Never. I can never accept it.
Now look what you've done.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry you had to see that. If you don't mind, I just need a moment alone.
Poor Sebastian. Not the visit he'd hoped for.
I'm sorry about earlier. Those bouts of pain are difficult to bear.
Revelio. Are you all right, Anne? I didn't mean to intrude.
You didn't, truly. And I'm all right. The pain from this curse comes in bouts, and often suddenly. It's not anyone's fault. It's nice to meet you, by the way. You must be the new 5th year Sebastian told me about.
I am. Sebastian and I met during a rather lively duel in Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Oh, dear Professor Hecat. She's a powerful witch. And she knows how to keep students like my brother, and me, in line. I do miss Hogwarts, but I wouldn't mind being in Feldcroft, really, if it wasn't so dreary now. Between the goblins at the castle and my uncle fighting with Sebastian whenever he's home, it's not the cosy retreat it once was.
Sebastian mentioned something about your uncle being an ex-Auror, but refusing to go after Ranrock's loyalists. I must say, I wasn't prepared for him to be as angry as he was.
Uncle Solomon is frustrated by what happened to me, and by Sebastian for thinking he can fix it. They both mean well, I know they do, but my uncle is right. This curse cannot be undone. I can feel it. Sebastian cannot take away my pain. Perhaps you can help him to understand that.
I'm afraid it's really up to Sebastian, and his mind seems to be made up.
I can only hope he realizes the futility of his search for a cure soon. I'm getting tired. I should probably rest. Thank you for stopping by. I wish you well.
That boy will fray my last nerve.
Excuse me, Mr. Sallow.
Oh, yes, Sebastian's friend. I apologize on behalf of my nephew. He doesn't know when to stop. I was about to check on Anne. Did I see you come from the house? How is she?
She's all right. She said she was going to rest.
Nothing can be done for her.
It could be that you've not yet discovered the cure.
Ah, you sound like Sebastian, thinking you know better than the healers at St. Mungo's.
Perhaps the healers don't know everything, sir. Sebastian is single-mindedly focused on finding a way to help his sister. If there is a cure, he will find it.
Your faith in Sebastian is misplaced. Some sort of dark magic cursed Anne. and the goblins aren't likely to explain themselves any time soon. Giving her hope is cruel. The only thing to do now is keep Anne comfortable and stay out of the Loyalists' way.
With all due respect, sir, hope could keep Anne's spirits up.
You may mean well, but I know what's best for Anne and Sebastian. They are my stubborn brother's children. Especially Sebastian. If you really want to be of help, you'll make sure Sebastian does what he should do, not what he wants to do. He's no idea the harm he could do if he doesn't stop. I hope you'll remember what I've said. Good day.
I ought to see how Sebastian's faring.
Why will he not listen to me? She's my sister.
How are you doing, Sebastian?
You got a first-hand glance at what I'm dealing with. I apologize for my uncle.
I'll admit, I wasn't expecting him to be so angry.
He's always angry. He's been angry since my parents died. After Anne was hurt, he only grew worse. It's as though he blames me somehow, always calling me my father's son, as if that's an insult. I'm the one trying to help her. He's simply given up.
Both Anne and your uncle seem genuinely convinced that nothing more can be done for her.
I refuse to believe that. Anne's pain is more than physical. It has changed her entirely. I miss my sister. And I'm going to get her back. Come with me. I need to show you where it happened. Ranrock's loyalists are capable of so much more than people realize. They should not be underestimated. All the debris you'll see is from whatever's going on at that abandoned estate. They've been digging for something.
Accio! Incendio! Arresto momentum! Descendo! Protego!
Up there, on that plateau, is where they cursed Anne. This way.
Expected to dig through this rubble. Ranrock knows what he's doing. It's an honor to be a part of it. Dead wizard in my book.
Arresto momentum.
For a bit of drawing, are we? No!
Descendo. Accio. Defendo. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Protego.
I won't rest.
Glacier. Defendo. Confringo.
You've made your last mistake. I don't have time for this.
Glacier. Defendo. Expelliarmus.
I won't rest.
Confringo.
Such arrogance.
Accio. Arresto momentum. Incendio. Glacier. Defendo. Confringo.
Why don't you come up here and fight me?
Hell Descendo. Accio. Incendio.
You are postponing.
Defendo.
No!
Expelliarmus.
Little moon.
Glacier. Confringo.
I confess, that was a bit more than I'd bargained for. I tried to warn you.
Those loyalists deserved what they got.
Couldn't agree more. This is where it happened. We smelled smoke in the middle of the night. When we looked outside, flames were shooting from the estate. Before my uncle and I could stop her, Anne rushed out, racing towards the fire, worried someone had been hurt. She came face to face with a horde of goblins, frantically trying to stamp out the flames. Suddenly, an icy voice drifted out from somewhere in the smoke. Children should be seen and not heard. A blinding blast followed. They didn't even give her a chance to run.
It seems an awfully violent response to a child wandering by. What were they trying to hide?
My thoughts exactly. It may be grasping at Billywigs, but I keep thinking that there might be something here that could lead me to whoever cursed Anne. Might be the only way to learn what type of magic harmed her, which could help me find a cure.
Perhaps you're right. The Loyalists are everywhere, but they do seem to be spending a lot of time here, and it's likely they're hiding something.
And at Rookwood Castle. Shall we have a look around? They seem to have set up camp here for a specific reason. They have stations for everything. I've heard that goblin dig sites like these are popping up everywhere.
It's a wonder the Ministry isn't doing more. Always armed and ready for a fight, Ranrock's Loyalists. Whose home was this?
Bit abandoned long since I've lived here. Rumour was a Hogwarts professor lived here once, centuries ago. But that's all I ever heard. It might be worth it.
Sebastian, over here. Do you think that this was damaged by the fire the night that Anne was cursed?
Could be. But it looks to me as though this was intentional.
Reparo. Revelio.
This well looks familiar. Sebastian, I've seen this before. This house, the well, the view.
What do you mean? When?
Give me a moment. I'll explain in a second. Sebastian, this house did belong to a Hogwarts professor. Hundreds of years ago.
Who? What do you...
I found a pensive that day in the restricted section with a memory that showed this house. There was a little girl and a drought. The keepers have shown me other memories as well. The girl became a Hogwarts professor. Her name was Isadora Morganach. She was one of the keepers.
The keepers? Like in Quidditch? And you found a pensive in the library? I'm not following you.
I realise it's a lot to take in. I'm not even sure I understand it all yet. And no, not like Quidditch. They call themselves keepers because they're protecting some type of knowledge. It has to do with the vault at Gringotts.
Let me see if I've got this straight. You have Ranrock and Rookwood after you because of something you found at Gringotts where you ended up via a port key. You can see traces of an ancient magic that you think Ranrock is trying to harness. And now you've been witnessing memories left by keepers. Oh, and this house belonged to a Hogwarts professor who was one of these non-Quidditch keepers hundreds of years ago. If I didn't know you, I think you were pulling my leg.
It is all a bit much, isn't it, when you put it like that? The point is, we both have good reason to search this house. You for answers about what happened to Anne, and me for answers about the keepers.
Look at this.
Someone piled this here for a reason. Is it blocking something?
Only one way to find out.
Depulso!
Huh, a stairwell.
Revelio.
Lumos.
Why bother blocking a stairwell?
There might be something here worth a closer look.
Lumos! They've left all of this simply strewn about. Tells me they're after something bigger.
Seems these journal entries are from Isadora's travels. A journal entry of Isadora's. I should hold on to this.
Lumos. Depulso. Lumos.
You're not going to believe this. I can see the Undercroft.
What? A daydream? Because that happens to me too.
I know it sounds strange, but...
Honestly, nothing you say sounds strange to me anymore.
Fair enough. I can see the Undercroft through this stone wall, as though it's a window. This has happened before.
I'm listening.
I think it's to do with my ability to see traces of ancient magic.
But you said you didn't really understand it, and that you couldn't wield it.
That's true, and I'm still not sure what it all means. What I do know is that my ability allows me to travel through these windows I see.
Wait. We can get straight to the Undercroft from here. Ominous will be flawed.
We can. But perhaps best not to tell anyone else about this for now. Even Ominous.
Understood. Well then, invisible, secret, ancient magic passageway? Here we come. I'm tempted to hold my breath. Why would the door lead us here?
Sebastian, look. Why hide a triptych here?
Seems as if something's missing.
A note. Let's have a look.
Anything helpful in the note?
A rune symbol. I've seen similar symbols used by the keepers.
I've been thinking. A keeper lived in that house centuries ago, and Ranrock and his lot have been searching there. You said that goblins may be wielding some form of this ancient magic. Do you think Anne was cursed by ancient magic?
I can't be sure, of course, but I don't think so. I didn't see any traces of it around your sister.
Very well. But that doesn't mean it's not ancient magic. There's still so much we don't know about it.
True. Perhaps this triptych will lead us to answers.
Then we'll have to unravel what this all means. But now I need to see Ominous. Don't worry, I won't tell him anything. Did I mention that, apparently, Salazar Slytherin had a secret scriptorium here, in Hogwarts?
You did not? Sounds worth looking into. Any idea where in the castle?
No idea. Ominous just learned of it. I'll let you know what I find out. I had no idea our visit to Cian would unfold into all of this. My head's an utter mess. But I'm glad you told me everything you did.
I'll be in touch. Till then.
How many times must I tell you? We are a Chudley Cannons family. We do not support Puddlemere United. If I find one more of their mementos on your wall, you'll be on the first train home to take it down.
Capulso! Levioso! Expelliarmus! Defendo! Confringo! Glacius! Expelliarmus! Defendo! Confringo! Glacius! Defendo! Glacius! Defendo! Confringo! Depulso! Levioso! Expelliarmus!
Does it get any more cozy than Hogsmeade?
Glad you came.
Hello, Serona. I received your owl. How are you?
Hello, my friend. Did you ever find Lodgok?
I did, thank you. We had a good conversation. He sends you his best.
Glad to hear it. I shan't ask for details of your little chat, and I'll refrain from telling you to be careful yet again. But I hope you will be, whatever your plans.
Of course. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something?
I do. I thought you might be just the person to do a favour for my friend Dorothy Sprottle in Upper Hogsfield.
I don't believe I've met Mrs. Sprottle.
She's lovely. Her late husband Aidan was a friend of my father's. In fact, I'd stay with Dot and Aidan the summers I waited tables here as a student. I've seen her a few times since Aidan passed, but the pub's been so busy lately, I've not been as attentive as I'd have liked. I wonder if you might pop in and see her. She may need some help collecting ingredients for her supply of Wiggenweld potion. And you could retrieve something of mine in the process. A box, full of old letters and such.
Why did Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle have your box of letters after all this time?
It's one of a few that I had when I was young. Dot found it when she was clearing out a closet. Can't imagine what's in there. Probably terribly theatrical. The ramblings of a teenage witch and her friends. You're welcome to take a peek inside, if you do find it. To be honest, I'd imagine it contains some lovely memories.
Why does Mrs. Sprottle keep a supply of Wiggenweld potion on hand?
Dot's a skilled potioneer. She's been supplying travelling vendors with Wiggenweld potion. An ordinary precaution that has, unfortunately, become a necessity, what with Ranrock's loyalists disrupting the trade routes.
I'll try to go and see her when I can.
It would mean the world to me, and to Dorothy. Aidan was bringing the box of letters to me when he was taken ill. Dot can tell you where he might have dropped it. You'll find the hamlet just north of Hogsmeade. Please do give Dot my love.
There's no telling what lies in wait for me in there.
Accio! Incendio! Descendo! Arresto momentum. Descendo. Accio. Glacius. Defendo. Accio. Incendio. Descendo. Arresto momentum. Confringo, Glacius, Defendo, Levioso. Confringo, Glacius, Defendo. Accio. Incendio, Descendo, Arresto momentum. Confringo, Glacius, Defendo, Levioso. Depulso, Expelliarmus. Accio. Incendio. Descendo. Arresto Momentum. Confringo. Glacius. Defindo. Levioso. Expelliarmus. Repulso.
Shane Bardolph thought dark magic was the answer. I reckon Rookwood's played a hand in his disappearance.
Hello, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Sirona, a gem. Has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aidan used to collect Hawklumps for me. Since he died, my supply has dwindled.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some Hawklumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
I can certainly try and find some for you.
That would be wonderful. I'm worried about the travelling vendors and would love to get them more Wiggenweld potion.
Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aidan died. He was hoping to go through it with Sirona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aidan took ill when he was collecting Hawklumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the cavern. The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather Hawklumps and collect the box of letters there.
Sirona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like?
Oh, goodness. Well, she was almost exactly like she is now. Charming, good head on her shoulders, taking care of everyone. I can't tell you the fun we had when she and her friends would visit us during the year, all buzzing about, practicing charms. Talented group. Her friend Mirabelle was a genius in the garden. Learned it all from her muggle parents, if you can believe it.
Do you remember anything about the letters you put in the box?
Oh, of course. A few letters from some of her school friends. Some nice memories. I even included a letter Sirona had written to me when she was staying with us. Thought she might enjoy reading it. I know when I read writing from my youth, I'm always astonished at how much I've changed, and yet remain the same.
Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those Hawklumps. I and the vendors I help would greatly appreciate it.
This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned.
Descendo!
Thought we'd forget about that goblin helmet.
Better have a look around. See about the Hawklumps and the box of letters. That's all the Hawklumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased.
Revelio. Depulso. Lumos. Incendio! Depulso! Lumos. Revelio.
Either I'll have to fight that troll, or hold it all together.
Incendio! Descendo! Confringo! Glacis! Defendo! Levioso! Expelliarmus! Depulso! Expelliarmus! Levioso! Expelliarmus!
That's all the Hawk Clumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased. Either I'll have to fight that troll, or avoid it altogether.
Confringo! Glacis! Defendo! Levioso! Incendio! Accio! Arresto Momentum! Revelio.
That's all the Hawk Clumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased. Either I'll have to fight that troll, or avoid it altogether.
Incendio! Descendo! Arresto Momentum! Confringo! Glacial! Defendo! Levioso! Accio! Incendio! Arresto Momentum! Accio. Potato. Descendo. Incendio. Glacius. Defender. Confringo. Levioso. Confringo. Glacius. Defender. Levioso. Accio. Incendio. Potato. Accio. Incendio. Arresto momentum. Potato. Incendio. Confringo. Glacius. Defender. Levioso.
That was a close one.
Revelio. Accio. Lumos. Lumo. Revelio. Compulso. Revelio. Revelio.
This must be Sirona's box of letters. I should find Mrs. Sprottle. She'll be glad to get these hawk lumps.
Accio. Incendio. Descendo. Arresto Momentum. Confringo. Glacius. Defindo. Levioso. Expelliarmus. Depulso. Accio. Descendo. Incendio. Arresto Momentum. Confringo. Glacius. Defindo. Levioso. Expelliarmus. Depulso. Accio. Incendio. Revelio.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Seems pleasant.
Bardolph Beaumont should have returned by now. Had by dark wizards he was.
Hello, Mrs. Sprottle. I have good news. I was able to harvest some hawk lumps for you, and I found Sirona's box of letters.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion. And Sirona will be delighted to have those letters. How kind of you. Now you be careful heading back to Hogsmeade.
I should take this box of letters to Sirona. She'll be glad to have it back.
Shane Bardolph thought...
Excuse me. Did you say something about Bardolph Beaumont?
Oh, hello again. How nice to see you. And yes, I did. I was just worrying about Claire Beaumont's brother Bardolph. Only he's gone missing. Rumour is he was seen in the forest practising dark magic. Saw him myself near some ruins with Rookwood's lot I did. I fear he got himself into trouble with the Ashwinders, especially if he made them a promise he couldn't keep. I'd help search for him myself, but no one will risk encountering Ranrock's loyalists. They seem to be everywhere.
Do you think Bardolph may have simply run off?
No. Bardolph's run that shop with Claire his entire life. He'd not give it up for anything. He swore he'd be back in a fortnight. My instincts are that he's been held captive, or worse.
Why would Bardolph want to get involved with the Ashwinders?
Oh, he had a terrible run-in with Ranrock's loyalists. Changed him. He vowed never to feel powerless again. I think he sought the Ashwinders out to learn their secrets. Victor Rookwood, at least, seems somehow immune to Ranrock's loyalists.
I can certainly look out for him.
Any help would be appreciated. You might speak to Claire first. Perhaps she has some insights that I don't. I can tell you that Bardolph was last seen in the forest wearing a particular woolen jumper, one that Claire knitted herself. Claire will be at her shop if you'd like to speak with her.
Ranrock's loyalists are a menace. What can be done?
Madame Beaumont, might I speak with you?
Yes? What about?
Mrs. Sprottle told me a little about your brother's disappearance.
Oh, dear Dorothy. She'd go looking for Bardolph herself if she could.
She mentioned dark magic and even the Ashwinders.
Despite my repeated warnings, Bardolph's been experimenting with dark magic near the edge of the forest. I thought perhaps he'd get it out of his system and it would gradually stop. But then one day, he didn't come home.
Could Bardolph have run off?
No, he'd never leave me here alone. He did speak of going to talk with Victor Rookwood. That worries me almost more than his attempts at mastering dark magic. Rookwood is as dangerous as Ranrock, in my opinion.
Is there anything your brother took with him that might help to track him down?
Only his satchel, journal, and a woolen jumper I knitted for him. That's all I can recall.
I'll let you know if I see or hear anything about him.
Thank you. How kind. I'd be so grateful to learn where he is. I know in my heart he's out there. Do be careful.
What do you have for sale?
Bardolph, where are you? I'll not give up hope. Oh, you'll like that. A fine choice. Upper Hogsfield is being terrorised by Ranrock's loyalists. It's not right. Marvellous. I could always use more of these. Thank you for passing through.
Sometimes it seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade.
Revelio.
Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some hawk lumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
One of the letters mentions Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard. I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw. We could have cheered them on together.
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aidan. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand. And not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through... well, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aidan. Thank you, again, for helping her, and for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.
Nice to see you, my young friend.
Wonder who lives here.
Ranrock's loyalists are a menace. What can be done?
I couldn't help but overhear. Nice to meet you.
Ranrock and his followers have set up camp here. No regard for our beloved hamlet or our livelihoods. Ruthless. My brother Bardolph dared to stand up to them and ended up in St. Mungo's. I'm simply at my wit's end.
How did your brother Bardolph end up in St. Mungo's?
Bardolph had spent the entire day hand-picking herbs and roots for us. When a group of Ranrock's lot appeared and demanded the harvest for themselves, Bardolph refused. In their anger, they hurled him against the rock and robbed him. The moment he left St. Mungo's, he vowed revenge. I worry he may be dabbling in magic that he will one day regret.
You said Ranrock's loyalists have set up camp here. Where, precisely?
To the south, across the river. Last I heard, there were several loyalists in each camp. I won't go near them.
Why don't you simply leave the area for now?
Upper Hogsfield is my home. Bardolph and I grew up here. No, we are standing firm. Once my brother returns, then we shall decide what to do next. He's gone to seek Victor Rookwood's advice. I didn't approve of that idea, but perhaps in the end it will help.
I'm unfortunately quite familiar with Ranrock's loyalists. Perhaps I can do something.
Much as I would love to be rid of them, I wouldn't want you to risk injury, or worse. Please be cautious. We should not have to live in fear. This is our home.
Do slow down and listen to my composition.
It seems as though things are getting worse. Best be on my guard.
How nice of you to stop by.
One of Ranrock's camps, exactly as Madame Beaumont described.
Why, this might be the best meal I've had in years. No, I mean, Franklins are running scared. As they should be. You will regret coming here. You'll regret coming here. One less human to worry about. I'm a I won't rest. Made quick work of this one.
Have to live in fear. This is our home. Mind yourself beyond.
It seems as though things are getting worse. Best be on my guard. One of Ranrock's camps.
Confringo! Defendo! Levioso! Expelliarmus! Repulso! Accio! Incendio! Incendio!
I won't.
Accio! Arresto Momentum! Levioso! Expelliarmus! Repulso! Accio! Incendio! Protego! Stupid! Accio!
Your blood's on Ranrock's hands. One camp down, one more to go. Revelio.
Of you to stop by.
Accio! Descendo! Arresto momentum.
You will regret coming here. Such arrogance. How nice of you to stop by.
Incendio. Arresto momentum. Descendo. Confundo. Glacius. Defendo. Levioso.
I will bet.
Repulso.
I will make
Levioso.
How childish!
You've one less follower, Ranrock. Both camps cleared. Madame Beaumont will be glad to hear that. Depulso. Incendio. Accio. Defender! Whoa. That wasn't too hard. Revelio. Who lived here, I wonder? It's like a place right out of a storybook.
Tips in the hat, if you please. Why, hello again! Come and listen. I've acquired what muggles call a loot. Marvelous, isn't it?
I do miss the bustle of business. Poor customers.
Hello, Madame Beaumont. Good news. I was able to clear out Ranrock's camps.
You cleared them out? How?
It was harrowing, and they dug in their heels, but I managed.
When my brother returns, this news will mean the world to him. You saved our hamlet, my young friend. This will not be forgotten. I fear for other hamlets, truly. Ranrock and his lot are unlike any goblins I've ever seen.
I should be going now. Thank you.
Thank you. Sincerely.
This might be enough.
This looks intriguing.
Glacius! Confringo! Glacius! Defendo! Levioso! Accio! Descendo!
Incendio! Is that Confringo's wooden jumper? That must be Bardolph. Accio, Incendio, Descendo, Arresto Momentum. Confringo, Glacius, Defendo, Levioso. Accio, Incendio. Bardolph's wooden jumper. I'm not sure Madame Beaumont would want to know what really happened to him. Accio, Incendio. Revelio.
The curiosity they teach at Hogwarts.
Seems a pleasant enough little place.
Oh, I do hope my brother is all right.
Madame Beaumont, I do have some news of your brother.
Oh, please tell me he's safe.
I regret to say that Bardolph had been turned into an Inferius, and I had to kill him.
What? But how could you possibly think that an Inferius was my brother Bardolph? That's absurd.
He was wearing a woolen jumper, hand-knitted.
No. This can't be.
I'm truly sorry. I wish it had been better news. I wish you well, Madame Beaumont.
What more could I have done? Oh, Bardolph! Bardolph, my dear, dear brother. Thank you for passing through.
I could use some gold.